An effort is underway to give undocumented workers in Idaho a little more freedom to travel to and from work or wherever they need to go.
One local group is campaigning for them to get restricted driver's licenses regardless of their immigration status. Right now, they cannot get a driver's license at all in the state of Idaho. And the Pew Research Center says more than 35,000 undocumented people work in the state of Idaho.
News Channel 7's Jude Binkley joins us now live outside the State House to tell us about the Drive Without Fear campaign that just launched. Jude?
Well, Doug, this isn't the first time a bill like this has been attempted over at the state legislature. Last year, a similar bill introduced a driving authorization card, but it failed. Now, this year, a group called PODER for Idaho is hoping to get different results with the restricted driver's licenses. Take a look.
This year, we decided to perfect the language a little bit and go for a restricted driver's license, not recreating the wheel, but just creating a pathway for folks to have, a driver's license.
The campaign is called Manejando Sin Miedo, Driving Without Fear. It stems from a national campaign to get driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants. There are 19 states that have similar programs, including Utah.
Here in Idaho, we don't have that. So right now what we're seeing is a lot of folks are driving uninsured or don't have registrations on their cars, both of which would bring more money to the state, bring more money to our economy.
PODER of Idaho is a group that empowers the Latino and immigrant community. Estefany Mondragon is the executive director and says this legislation would also keep streets safer.
The Office of Performance Evaluation here at the State House has said that, did a report on the driver's authorization card a couple years back. What they saw is there's less hit and runs, and when folks are driving insured, they're most likely to not run away from police, which we're seeing some instances of that, which then escalates the situation for law enforcement. And of course, then law enforcement knows who they're dealing with.
The restricted driver's license would be similar to a Class D license, like the one you might have in your wallet right now.
The restriction is, it would look a little different than our regular driver's license is horizontal. It would look more like a driver's permit that many, 14 or 15-year-olds have.
PODER of Idaho says they've gotten a lot of support from the Idaho Dairymen's Association because a lot of their workforce is foreign-born. The group says they've seen a lot more support from the public too. Later this week, they'll be hosting a community meeting, and they've also been gathering signatures of support.
What we're hearing from many of our Republican leadership in both the Senate and the House is that they want to hear from community. They get a lot of calls from folks that might not want to see this law passed, but we know that that's a vocal minority. I think the majority of Idahoans want safe roads.
Now, the legislation from last year was brought forward by Senator Guthrie, and PODER for Idaho says they expect him to introduce this new bill soon. Now, they're going for these restricted driver's licenses instead of the authorization cards that they had last year. And they also said that some of the language in the bill was tweaked, hoping it makes it easier for folks to get a driver's license.
And we'll see how it plays out in the Senate, Jude, so thank you for letting us know about that, and we'll continue to follow it.
Absolutely. Jude, thank you.